What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we're hearing that the White House is currently reviewing bills to provide monthly reoccurring gas stimulus checks. That is right, and this is your stimulus check update. Now, take a look, you guys. I share all of my articles with you. I link them in the description below and read right from them so you can see it for yourself. The White House has privately discussed sending checks to car drivers dealing with high gas prices. Now, as you know, I shared with you that 3 bills have been proposed by Congress to send out gas stimulus checks, some of which, as I mentioned, are on a monthly basis. But we weren't sure if any of them were going to get any traction. Well, now we're hearing the White House has these, and they are under review. So this could potentially be something that we could see here very soon. Now, one of the ones that has been getting a lot of support, take a look, you guys. Democrats are pushing for $300 per month in stimulus checks to help Americans struggling to pay for sky-high gas prices as a gallon soars past $6 a gallon in LA, and 73% of voters say that they back tax breaks on gas. So, man, this looks like it could be happening. We're hearing that on a federal level. Everybody in the nation could be getting stimulus checks as the White House is taking this into consideration. Now, in addition to that, we're not only hearing about gas stimulus checks on federal levels, but also we've heard of 11 states proposing gas tax rebates, also just tax cuts on the gas. And I've got some video footage for you on what's being proposed right now in California. In addition to the Golden State stimulus checks, the federal stimulus checks, they're now proposing gas stimulus checks go out. I'm going to be sharing with you the video footage with all the details. Now, as you guys know, just a disclaimer, here on the channel, I just read the reports, share with you the news, leave my opinions out of it, and I always plan to do so. However, this news report, the video footage, is very opinionated and slanted in their stance. So just wanted to let you know, and let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. But they are very skeptical about the way that the California gas stimulus checks are set up. You're going to be seeing here in a little bit. But you guys, I want to get you caught up on the latest because we're hearing that this is likely going to be needed. As you know, one of the things fueling this is the conflict, the war happening in Ukraine with Russia. And what we're hearing is, over the weekend, President Joe Biden said a few things that actually might have escalated the tensions. And this likely isn't going to be going away here anytime soon, which as a result, they're saying means gas prices likely won't be going down anytime soon either. Inflation is at a 40-year high. We might have another wave of the pandemic coming here in a couple weeks. And they're saying stimulus checks might be needed here very soon. So I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. Let's go ahead and dive right in. But before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, and that is if you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything going on, if you could just smash that like button for me. Helps out with the channel a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments. Share this out if you think it could help out other people. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free, come join the Ram fam. I'll let you know everything going on. Just hit that subscribe button. And to stay up to date, turn on that notification bell so you're notified right away as updates come out. If you got any specific questions for me, you can get a hold of me directly on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth, personal finance. More content coming on that channel in April about real estate investing, stocks, cryptos, business. Keep an eye out for more content there. But with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive right in and get you caught up on the latest as the White House is now reviewing these bills for monthly reoccurring gas stimulus checks. All right, so link in the description below to this Business Insider article that says the White House has privately discussed sending checks to car drivers dealing with high gas prices. And it says the White House is weighing its options on how to reduce high gas prices for Americans. One that's on the table is direct payments, aka stimulus checks, to drivers. Now, the Washington Post reported that was among the measures floated in a private discussion among White House aides. Other potential steps include a federal gas tax holiday, a third release of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserves, and some incentives to domestic energy producers to ramp up production. Now, the White House didn't immediately respond to requests for comments on this, but we're hearing they are discussing this. Gas prices remain high, partly due to the Russian war in Ukraine, as we mentioned. The national average per gallon of gas stood at $4.24 per AAA, and it hasn't fallen much over the past week. but it has jumped substantially compared to last month. Now, Democrats in Congress are also introducing similar ideas of their own. Another plan, introduced by Representative Ro Khanna of California and Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island, would provide quarterly payments to Americans funded by a tax on profitable oil companies. They estimate that it would be around $240 per year for single filers and $360 per couple. So this is another one, a lot less generous than $300 per month. That one is beginning a lot of traction. But this is one of the other bills presented right now for reoccurring checks. Now, checks for American motorists are not likely to gain traction in Congress right now, with Senate Republicans essentially shutting down the idea earlier this week. As I shared with you, Republicans said they are not on board, so this likely will not pass through the traditional means. It would need to be through the process of reconciliation, which means all Democrats would have to unify, agree upon this, and pass it through. They assailed that it is a gimmick that would only contribute to inflation pressures and step up its costs. Clearly, what this administration has conducted is that they can throw some gimmick at this issue, said Senator John Thune of South Dakota. The second-ranked Senate Republican said Tuesday at the weekly GOP conference. But at least one state is preparing to distribute checks to car drivers, and that is California. As Gavin Newsom has announced, he announced it on Tuesday that eligible car drivers could get up to two $400 debit cards to cover the cost of gasoline. That's right. Two $400 checks, if you own two vehicles, could go out per person. So you guys, let me share with you this video clip that's going to be breaking down the details of it, and they're going to be sharing their opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below.
Well, this past week, California Governor Gavin Newsom unveiled an idiotic idea on how to relieve Californians from ridiculous gas prices. People in the Golden State are paying over $6 a gallon. The Shell station down the street from me is currently at $6.39. Good thing so many of us have Priuses and Teslas, right? Well, unfortunately, many people have gas guzzlers, and worse yet, can't afford to live in the city center and need to drive an hour into work each way. How can they possibly afford this? Well, Gavin Newsom understands the hardship and has come up with a fantastic solution. He's going to divvy up $400 for every registered vehicle in the state.
This direct relief is on top of the $10+ billion that we have distributed over the last year with the Golden State stimulus. So all told, close to $20 billion of direct tax relief.
Now, this isn't based on household or per person or income or even commute distance. It's per car. They cap it at 2 cars per person. So if you and your wife happen to have 2 cars each, you'll get a whopping $1,600. Even better, it won't matter if your cars are Teslas or Priuses, which require either zero or far less gasoline than the average vehicle. It won't even matter if you work from home and rarely drive. Own a car, get money. That's how this is going to work. Never mind the elderly on fixed incomes who no longer own a car. It's unfortunate their grocery bills are sky high due to the increase in trucking costs. If they only still owned a car, they could be getting $400. Many in the lower income class and even Uber drivers don't own their cars. They actually rent them on a per month basis. That's too bad. Under Newsom's plan, they won't be getting a dime. You must be the registered owner of the vehicle to collect the $400. And what about the eco-conscious who gave up their vehicles for public transit after the state government, including Newsom, encouraged it? What about those too poor to afford a car? They too are eating the cost of increased gas inflation, yet they get nothing. No car, no cash. That's how this works. It's unbelievable to think the state government, after spending so much time trying to encourage Californians to ditch their cars for greener solutions, is actually going to reward car ownership when times get tough. Does this actually make any sense? Especially to so-called progressives. Is this making any sense at all? This is similar to the pandemic. Rather than progressives leveraging it for the thing they've claimed they've wanted the most, Medicare for all, progressives instead ignored their golden opportunity and advocated for hunkering down and waiting for a big pharma solution instead. How do people not see the irony in this? This is your moment. This is the time. When a pandemic hit, why wasn't it the progressive left's first instinct to protest for Medicare for all? Now that gas prices are through the roof, why aren't progressives demanding the state give incentives to use public transit or massive rebates on electric cars? Instead, the government advocates for big pharma, and now in a gas emergency, the government is rewarding car ownership. It's bizarre, but it's beside the point. The point is, it's a ridiculously dumb idea to give $400 to people for each car they own, no matter matter if they never drive one of their cars or if their cars are all electric and don't even require gasoline. What kind of plan is this? Everyone is feeling the increase in gas prices. It's trickled into every aspect of our lives since nearly everything relies on transportation to get to us. Everyone, no matter how many cars they own, shares in this pain. Yet Newsom's idea is to give people a bunch of money for every car they own, as if I can drive more than one car at a time and need double the gas for some reason. It makes zero sense, and I'm scratching my head to figure out who this benefits. Is Newsom bought off by the car loan industry or something? Or is this just a genuinely bad idea he thought up on his own? What's even crazier is that the state Senate and Assembly actually came up with a better plan before Newsom came up with his. Their plan is to disperse $200 to each taxpayer and dependent, with the cap cutting off the top 10% of earners in the state. Now, this makes way more sense to me. Gas prices soaring affect many aspects of our lives, not just filling up our Teslas with imaginary gasoline. And what really drives me nuts about this is that this just looks like another one of those plans that ultimately ends up taking money away from the taxpayers, the hardworking class, and siphoning it up to the wealthy. I mean, people who own more than one car are going to be getting a bunch of money. It's based on that. I mean, that's just crazy. So households with a bunch of cars are going to get a bunch of money, you know, if they're registered to 2 to the mom, 2 to the dad, 2 to the, you know, and then each teen. I mean, this is just crazy.
I love government so much. It's so great. We don't want you to own cars anymore because it's bad for the environment. Actually, scratch that. We're going to give you money per car you own for fun.
Yeah.
There's
got to be a better plan.
The two-car thing is pretty dumb. Yeah, it sounds like giving everybody a check seems to be a better way to do it.
It usually is.
Yeah, good. Cut off the top 10%, fine.
Right.
And because everybody is facing higher prices, so even if you don't have a car, you're still facing some higher prices.
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Stimulus checks for gas in the state of California, and you also, in California, might be also getting a federal gas stimulus check as well. Now, we will see. I'll let you know what the White House decides. As I mentioned, it's likely not going to be getting bipartisan support, but it could be a reconciliation bill that goes through that provides federal level checks, similar to what we saw for the third stimulus check, where that passed through the process of reconciliation. Now, whatever unfolds, I'll be sure to let you guys know here on the channel. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget, take a quick second, smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you want to stay up to date, totally free, hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.